And so it is, dear family, dear Shambhala, that we gather again here in this circle, in this sacred energy. I, Tobias, welcome each of you back to the classroom of the new spiritual energy of Earth. I welcome back those who are teachers on this day, each one of you sitting here, giving of yourselves and your life for one simple thing now as we move forward. Each of you, teachers. And you wonder why we call this the classroom of the new spiritual energy. As you will find out soon, it is not about us teaching you. It is about what we are learning from you. Now, there is much energy in this room, and as our friend Kahris said, for the next few minutes we will work with each of you individually to integrate, to bring in the energy of spirit. But my friends, more important than that now, to help bring up, to help rise up your own divinity. What we will talk of today, for the next hour of time with you, is not about what you are bringing in from us and from spirit and from what you have perceived to be your true self. We will talk about bringing up, about awakening, and about beginning to utilize the energy of your own divinity that is already within you. You just have not recognized it up to this point. The energy in this circle that we sit in today is sweet and strong and loving. We simply ask each of you now to open, to allow, be all that you are. For the next moment of time that we share together, to put down the worries that you carry with you. The next moment of time to put down the concerns of what is in your future. The next moment of time to simply be present, to be in the now, to be in this circle. We have said recently in the channel to a group of family in Shambhala much like this, you are in a circle of your own. You, the human, is a circle that is different than the one that the rest of creation resides in. You have chosen to go beyond the circle of spirit, to create a new dimension, a new circle, as it were, that will benefit all that is. That is why you have chosen the many lifetimes on earth. That is why you are sitting here now in this classroom. Now let us talk for a moment about this lifetime of yours. You have come in to this lifetime to complete the last chapters of your book of life here on earth. You have come in to clear the last portions of karma, as you call it, to fulfill and to finalize your contracts. You have spent much of the early years of your life doing this, meeting others who you had karmic conditions with that you were choosing to get over, having family relationships that provided the conduit to resolve karma that had accumulated, that had brought experience for lifetime after lifetime. You spent much of your early years working with these matters. And then, as we have talked about before, something happened to you. Whether it was 20 years ago, or 10, or just 2, there came an awakening in your life. Perhaps a book that fell from a shelf. Perhaps a message from a friend. Perhaps just an insight that you had in a dream while you were dazed. But in this experience, you came to an awakening point. You came to an awakening point that has led you to here, it has led you to a journey of understandings of spirit, and your relationship to spirit. During this time period, there were many difficult experiences for you and what you would call lessons, although we choose not to use that word. There was much final clearing, for in a sense what you were doing is completing the book of your life, the book that contained the stories of many, many lifetimes. You've been working on completing those final chapters, final relationships with people. And then, my friend, as this was done, you came into a point that we have discussed before in channel, a point of feeling perhaps lost, confused, disimpassioned, for you had completed your main contract, your main goals for life, and now there came a point to choose whether to move forward, to continue in human form and human consciousness, or return back to this circle, to the circle that we exist in. Each of you here that we talk to on this day, through our energies, knows of that moment in your life that we speak. That moment when you were faced with the choice to stay on earth or to return to this circle that we exist in. Now obviously, you chose to stay, you chose to move forward. And there is one reason for that. There is one commitment for that. Each of you here has chosen to be a teacher of the new energy, and has said that you will do whatever it takes, you will sacrifice whatever it takes, you will release whatever it takes from your life, to be one who is at the forefront, one who will be a teacher, one who will be working with others to help guide them through their transitional experiences. So today we look out onto this group to send energy for all who connect into this group on this day, and for all who will read and hear these words in the days to come. We look out and we see a group of teachers, the ones who will bring the energy of the new earth to others. And for that we honor you for continuing your journey, for continuing the suffering and the difficulties and the challenges of not knowing who you truly are, but working diligently to find out. Now there is much we will talk of on this day. Before we proceed into those discussions, let us take a moment of time here with you, an intimate moment with each of you, to hug you, to thank you, and to honor you for the work that you have done in all the lives before this, but more importantly on this day, to thank and to honor you for staying here on earth, for agreeing to go through the understandings, go through the learnings that it will take for you to be a teacher. Oh, make no mistakes about it. The difficulties that you have encountered in particular for this last year are not for waste. They are not for waste. They are all things that you are learning to enable you to become a teacher to others, to give you the empathy and understanding of the processes that are not necessarily yours, but the processes that you will encounter in working with others. I hope you understand what we mean by this. Much of what comes into your life now are not necessarily experiences related to you directly. They are experiences that you have chosen to walk through so that you will be a stronger, more loving, and more empathetic teacher. In the years to come, you will look back and say, now I know why I went through that difficult time in early August 2000. To give me empathy to handle this situation with this human now that needs guidance, that needs love. Much of what you are going through now is learnings and understandings that you have agreed to. Yes, you have agreed to give you those understandings. Dear teachers, we flood into the room now to hug you and to thank you and to cry in joy for the work that you do. Take a moment here to receive what we bring to you. We will ask our friend to be in silence while this energy filters in. In the heaviness of your day-to-day life, in the midst of the conflicts and chaos and the energy that you are involved in, it is perhaps difficult for you to see who you truly are. But we see it clearly. It is amazing to us. So amazing that when we are invited into your space like this, Taojo feels the emotions coming from us, and it even brings him to a point of tears. This energy, look at yourself as we look at you, without judgment, but only love. Without ever worrying about the decisions that you make, only knowing that they will be ultimately based in love. We look at you in amazement, for you chose to come into a place, into a circle, outside of the circle of creation. We mean that literally. To go outside of all that is, to experience things that will benefit all that is. It's amazing to us. And one of the things that we will discuss with you on this day and for the next year forward, the next year of your time, the beginnings of remembering who you are, to be able to see who you are, to be able to have the power within, and my dear friends, to ultimately become the creators in the new energy. For the next year of time with this circle, we will be working with you to help you understand that you are indeed creators. Oh, you were creators in our circle with us when you were here. And as we have mentioned in channel before, that circle, that first creation came to a point, call it gridlock, call it the point of not being able to go any further, the point of needing new understandings that existed outside of the circle of all that is. Perhaps hard to intellectually understand. But there were understandings that were needed by Spirit, by God, by you and all others. And to come to those understandings, it was needed for a group to go into a new circle outside of the first creation. That is why you are here. For the next year of time, we will work with you on understanding, remembering that you are creators, and learning now how to create your earth with new powers, with new ways of manifesting. For the next year of time, we will go through a series of very deliberate steps with you. We will be redundant at times to reinforce our message. We will repeat messages from the past. Oh, we will be much like your school teachers were. There will be times when you become perhaps aggravated with us, where you will feel like you are hitting the wall, where you are not being able to assimilate the information and bring it into your day-to-day life. There are times when you will feel you are not able to affect what is happening in your life or around you. There may be times when you are down on the floor. There may be times when you are weeping. Times when you are ready to give up. And that is, dear friends, okay. We want you to accept within yourself that is okay. There is no failure. There is no race or competition here amongst each other. There are no grades that are given in this classroom. Each of you working as individuals but working as a group to move things forward. During this next year of your time, you will also come to amazing new understandings. We ask you, as you do, to share these with others, to work with those who are in this classroom, who are part of the Crimson Circle. Share openly with each other. We will take time in these meetings, unknown to Kaovia. We will take time in these meetings to simply spend time discussing what you are learning. Well, we want to hear also. And it is important for the other humans that are here to hear of your progress, to hear of your breakthroughs, to give them hope also. It will be a difficult year of your time. Difficult but loving and energizing, challenging, and very rewarding. Now, our friend Kaoja, he was in your armed forces and he went through basic training and he knows of what we speak the next year will be like for you. But he also knows that much good comes from the intense trainings that we will go through. He knows you will learn a new type of discipline, a discipline that enables you to love yourself. And yes, that's what it takes sometimes as a discipline, to let you love yourself first. with the discipline and the training of this next year, you will also become sharp and refined and clear in your thinking. You will gain the tools within yourself to do the work that you came here to do. For the next year of your time, dear teachers, you will be learning much. Again, we know there will be difficulty within. There will be times when you will think that Tobias, that the Crimson Council have no earthly understanding of what you're going through, and yet at times you will be right. We look forward to this period of time that we will spend with you. Some perhaps will leave the circle to find things that are more appropriate in their lives, and new ones will join, and we will ask you to bring them up to speed. Again, there are no grades here. There is no one that can do it better than the other. Work together. Release the, as you say, the ego portion. Open up lovingly. You will learn much. We will be here working side by side with you. We will be here with you in this group, in this circle, once each month. There are times when we will call meetings in between this, where it will be necessary to sit down for several hours of questions and answers, and we will inform Kaudra when that will be appropriate. We will adjust his schedule to make it so. For the next year of your time, my friends, we look forward to it. What we will learn and share together. Then from that point, a year from now, you will have gained the insights into your divinity. You will gain the deep insights into who you are. You will have come to the wisdom and understanding to how to use your power, your divine power. You will have developed the discipline and the empathy, all that is needed then to become teachers in your own right, to be ordained ministers of the Crimson Council. We see this as being so sweet. We see for you the fulfillment of the work, of the true work that you really came to this earth to do. First, you needed to release the karma of old, which you did quite well by setting up very intense experiences in the earlier parts of your life. And then, as difficult as it has been in the last year or so, releasing all those things that you held dearly to you. Things of relationship, jobs that you thought were important, of belief systems that you thought were important. My dear friends, you have spent these past 12 months peeling the onion layer by layer, so that you could be in this spot to move forward, to become a teacher in your own right, in your truest right. You have spent the last year going through some of the most difficult and personal experiences, some of the deepest experiences in your life. In our own way, we grieve for you. We're also joyous for you to know that you have walked through that. The challenges and the difficulties that you will have henceforth will be a different type. They will be personal challenges within your being. They will not so much come from the outside. You will not so much feel the emotional ripping in two that you have this past year or so. You've walked through the difficult things. You have made it to this point on this anointed day to be in the classroom of the new spiritual energy of Earth. There are some here who may be able to smell the faint fragrance coming in now. It is sweet. It is a reminder, dear. It is. Now, lesson 1. We give just one lesson on this day. It will be difficult in many ways. It will be a lesson and an insight that we ask you to work on diligently until we meet again a month from now. It is quite simple. We will ask for a moment here, since we did not previously review this with Caldwell, much to his disappointment. We will ask for a moment to download the information to him. Energetically, we will download it to you, so it will not be just the words that you are hearing, but there will be an energy understanding. We will pause here for a moment to allow this process to take place. Now, as we said, we will give but one lesson on this day. We'll talk of it for a while. There may be questions in our next session, in our question and answer session on this day that may come up. The concept is quite simple, but somewhat difficult to explain. As you move into your divinity, as it begins to awaken within you and to come from an outer dimension, as it were, into your being, it is then that you will become what we term the new creators. The new creators are the ones who remain here on earth, who remain in the earth energy, but who yet are able to call upon their divine being to create a new environment and energy, first for themselves, and then that will affect others who are willing, and then will affect the earth as a whole. To understand the process of becoming a creator, a true creator in this earth energy, it is important for you to remove yourself from situations as they occur in your life. Right now, my friends, you are still walking in duality. You are still, when you try to create something for yourself, there are times when you try to create or to change the outcome of a situation that may affect you or others. And it is like you are running straight into a brick wall. You are trying to use an ESP or psychic power You are trying to push from your brain, or perhaps even from your heart. You are struggling energetically with situations, and you find it generally does not work. My friends, have you come to the understanding, or begin to come to the insight, that there is a flow, there is a creative process when you release and you let go. The human tendency is to push. Human tendency is to create energy, to ram forth, to try to create or change a situation. And as you have discovered, this is very tiring. Many of you have been very exhausted lately, for you have been trying to use an old belief system and an old concept of creation and manifestation that simply is not appropriate now in the new energy that you walk. We see you, humorously, of course. We see you trying to change the way another driver thinks. We see you trying to keep a fellow employee out of your energy by creating barriers and shields. And God knows they walk right through that and come to make your life challenging and difficult at times. We see you trying to pull energy at times from outside of you, thinking perhaps you can make even a brief deal with Spirit to have this energy come in to change situations. We see you calling upon your guides, which is very humorous, for they are not there anymore. You are knocking on a door of a house where no one lives anymore. We see you going through all sorts of gyrations and ceremonies and incantations. My friends, these are things you learned in lifetimes 10, 20, and 100 ago. They do not apply now in this new energy. Oh, they had some degree of success for you in the past, in those lifetimes of old, but they do not apply now in this energy. And you wonder why you have been so frustrated lately. There is a new energy. And we could not have talked the way we are talking to you today with the understandings that we bring forth for you up to now. There is a delicate energy balance within you and within all things of earth that required this time. Now it is simple but somewhat scary. It is no longer about an external pushing to create. It is about a total allowing. It is about a total acceptance of all things that are in your life, in the light of other people around you and the world. It is a total accepting that we are asking you to do at this point. This will be difficult for some. This will make some angry. It will cause a lot of challenge intellectually for you. You have been used to creating prayer lists to pray for another or for earth or for an event. While that is a very loving thing to do, we are asking you to, my friends, do not try to affect a situation now. Simply be in acceptance of it. Whether it is in your own life or the life of others, We know this will cause some challenges for you. In your own biology, you have struggled with it. You have been sending it right. You have been trying to stimulate it and motivate it and heal it. We ask you now to discontinue those activities and to accept it. In your own emotional healing, you have been struggling. You have been going for guidance and counseling. And it feels good for a while. It doesn't seem to ultimately provide the healing that you truly desire. So we ask you now to discontinue those activities. Oh, our friend Caldera, he is very nervous of what we speak. He is chattering quite a bit now. He is seeing emails coming to him. He is seeing challenges. But we will go for it. For there is a logic, there is a beauty and understanding to this. In your own biology, my friends, we ask you to no longer force what you call light or healing to it, but rather be in a place of acceptance. What you have been experiencing in your life, what you have been observing all around you has been duality, light and dark, right and wrong, good and bad, love and anger. You have been taking a side, so to speak. You have been fighting for that side. You have been a willing and strong warrior. But my friends, all of those activities existed within duality, and you are now moving outside of duality to a new place of oneness. When you remove yourself from a situation, whether it involves you personally or others, instead of pushing energy towards one direction or the other, instead of choosing sides, instead of deciding and judging what is right and wrong, and you step aside, and you simply observe and you accept all things that are happening, you will begin to understand a dynamic that would lead you to an understanding of true creation. Again, this is somewhat of a difficult concept, and we are working with each of you energetically to help you understand this. We are not asking, my friends, no, for you to give up your jobs, to give up the work that you do. We are simply asking you to remove yourself from a situation that is in front of you. You feel like you need to change, that you need to vest yourself into the outcome. We ask you to remove yourself from that. We are asking, in a sense, imagine a short wall, and to stand back, to consciously walk over that wall, to stand on the other side of that wall, and to simply observe what is going on, to simply observe the dynamics that are occurring on the side of the wall that you just left. If there is a family argument going on between others, instead of choosing one side, or instead of deciding that you need to be the moderator and the pacifier, and that occurs in your life, simply do not get caught up in that conflict that is occurring. Consciously allow yourself to cross over the short wall, stand back on the other side as an observer. This will be difficult for you, for you have been well trained and well disciplined up to this point. to go into situations and change them. We're asking that you do this for a period of time. To go into, to cross into this space of allowing and accepting, because as you do, you will begin to understand the dynamics of creation. You will become an observer. You will literally start to see energy patterns around others, around situations. You will start to see beams of energy. You will be able to see, as you come into this accepting side of the wall, a beautiful, almost indescribable, shimmering tapestry being woven by humans. My friends, you have been so close to all of the events, you have not seen that there is a spiritual tapestry being woven by every thought and action and deed, because you have been involved in this. As you stand back, you will be able to see the beautiful weave of colors and textures and patterns and energies, all created from a core of love in the events that surround you. As you step to the other side of the short wall, first you will see the weavings, the underside of the tapestry. It is being woven in front of you. As soon as you become proficient at this, as you become disciplined and stepping aside, you will be able to begin to see the top side of the tapestry, and that is where the real beauty and the real art of the human experience is. You've been so close. You've only felt the commotion of the weaving of the tapestry. As you back away, as you step on the other side of the short wall that surrounds your new house, you will be able to see how situations are created. You will be able to see the cause and the effect of the actions of other people, other humans. You will be able to see how things are truly woven. As you begin to experience this, then we can talk to you more about the process of creation. But first, it is necessary for you to remove yourself, as it were. Oh, you will still be walking on earth. You will still be going to your job. You will still be talking to others, working with others. In many ways, your life will change little. But now it is time simply to stand back, to see the beautiful weavings of duality. It is necessary for you to come to this somewhat at a distant perspective of life, to come to a true understanding of your own creative power, your own creative ability. During the next year of time, as you become more proficient at this, we will discuss with you then, at the appropriate times, how you can be your own creator, and then how you truly can be in service to all humans, to all earth, how you can truly be a teacher. Lesson 1 in the classroom of the new spiritual energy of earth. To accept all things as they are. We will write that down for you. To accept all things as they are, even those things in your life. This will be difficult for you. There will be challenges even in the next few days, literally, of your time. You will have the tendency to want to jump in. For those of you who are healers, and many here are, as you work with your patients and your clients, you've always tried to somehow through your own being heal them. Sometimes this has worked, sometimes not, but as you know underneath is really truly themselves. As you continue to work with them, they continue to come to your door for healing. My friends, continue the work that you have done, but in a sense, step back at the same time. Do not make judgments of their conditions, and do not make judgments of your own ability as a healer. Simply step back, stand on the other side of the wall. Observe what is going on. Make no judgment of what is going on. At first, my friends, you may see or feel very little, perhaps nothing. As you continue this discipline within yourself, you continue this discipline, you will start to see things that we cannot describe for you. You must come to the understandings yourself. There are not words that can convey what you will begin to see. For each of you, it will be a different and personal experience. Make note of that. You can talk to us about it, and then talk to the others. The lesson today is quite simple. We are being redundant. The lesson to accept all things as they are. Practice this much in the days to come, especially in your own life, especially with those things that surround you. Prior to this channel, we gave the 4 truths. We'll repeat those once more because they are pertinent and they led up to this discussion on this day. The first is that spirit does not know the outcome. As we have said in channel, there has been a belief system upon your earth with humans that God has known the outcome all the way along. He simply wouldn't share it with you. That, my friends, is not true. Spirit does not know the outcome. You exist outside of the circle of spirit and all that is. Spirit has no agenda. Truth number 2. You have always assumed that God, like a father or mother figure, has preferred you to do the right thing, to go to the right school, to have the right friends and the right job. God doesn't care. Your own parents care. God and Spirit and all that is have no agenda. We ask each of you to release that belief system from within your being. Again, this is challenging and difficult, for you have always assumed there was a right path and a wrong path. And you must make the choice in the dark. As the churches teach, God help you if you didn't make the right choice. The third truth is that Spirit and your guides and the angels cannot do it for you. Even if we wanted to, we could not. For we have said, in the spiritual physics of things, you live outside. You exist outside of the circle of all that is. Therefore, we cannot do it for you. As we have said before, you have thanked us many times when situations have worked well in your life. It has not been us. You have created those situations. And the fourth truth that we gave in the channel previous to this was that there are no contracts anymore. You are not bound to the old. You are not bound to karma. There is residue
there is old reminder that comes back to haunt you. But my friends, you are not creating new karma. The book of life for each of you has been written. You have penned the final chapter. From henceforth, it is a new book with open and clean pages. There is no spiritual directive on those pages that you must follow. You are the ones creating the new energy. You are not bound by the past. You are only reminded of it occasionally. As you wrote those final words in the final chapter of the book of your life, of your lifetimes on earth, you know, many of you experience great sadness and then a feeling of loss, a feeling of lack of purpose. That is because you finished what you came here to do, but there was one caveat in that. You knew that if you could finish that book in record time, you could write a new one. And that is why you are here. But that book has no guidelines or margin lines or preset number of pages or look or feel. You are creating it as you go here. That is what you are doing here. Lesson number 1, accept all things as they are. This will take discipline on your part. You will want to become intimately involved in situations, for that is what you have done so well. You will want to heal yourself and heal others and bring peace and love to earth. And all of these things are commendable, friends. We are here to work with you to show you the way of the new creation. You have already discovered the old ways are tiresome, laborious, and frustrating. Lesson 1, accept all things as they are. Become an observer of life, of your own life even. Do not worry of what tomorrow will bring, for it matters not. Observe what is going on now in your own life and around you. Pass no judgment. Oh, that will tempt you. Do not feel the need or desire to change others or to change yourself now. Yes, there have been the questions here that have been asked now. Is this the period of do nothing that we experienced recently? And we say to you, no, that it is not. This is different. The period of do no thing that we have discussed with you before was a necessary transition point where we asked you to make no rash decisions. We knew there were things in your life that compelled you to want to make major decisions. That was not energetically a good time. That is why we asked you to go through a time of do no thing. This is different energetically. This is a time of accepting all things as they are. You will continue walking through life. You will continue doing what you have done for a period of time. But you will use each opportunity along the way to observe, to accept. It does not mean you will not feel suffering or compassion or love or joy. You will feel these, but simply accept and observe them. My friends, it is also a time here in accepting all things as they are to release your grasp. To release your grasp. And if you do not, it will be taken from your hands by us whenever we possibly can. You know of what we speak. You have held tightly to belief systems. You have held tightly to concepts of who you thought you were. You have held tightly even to your new age. It is time to let these things go. This, again, will be difficult and challenging. But, my friends, it will be difficult for you to come to understanding of the tapestry, of the weavings of the tapestry. It will be difficult to come to understandings of creation if you hold on to belief systems and concepts that served you at one time, but now have grown a bit long in the tooth. You will be challenged. You will be challenged to release those things. Oh, some of you will fight dearly for them. You will fight for concepts and beliefs that you feel hold you up and keep you from slipping into the abyss, and you know of what we speak. There was a human who each day got in his canoe. He pushed it out from the shore and began paddling. He paddled upstream against the current. As he paddled, he became strong from all the paddling. He saw many new things along the way, along the river. He kept paddling and paddling. At night he would pull to shore. He would find something to eat and then fall exhausted along the banks, knowing that he had learned much and experienced much on that day, knowing that he had experienced the beauty of the river, knowing he had experienced the challenge of paddling upstream. And he would fall asleep. He would fall asleep, exhausted from the day's work. And he would get up the next morning and push his canoe back out into the river and begin paddling once again, day after day, week after week, year after year, paddling and experiencing. Oh, and certainly it was a good journey. Certainly it was a loving journey. But underneath, my friends, he paddled more and more and the days went by. Underneath there was a fear that even he forgot of. Even he forgot why he was paddling up against the river. One day, he tired of paddling. He tired of fighting the river. Oh, he was filled with experience and journey, but he tired, for he did not know any longer why he should continue. He had seen every crook, every turn in the river, every bank, every tree, every stone, every rock, and they all looked the same. He did not know why he should paddle any further. One day, he realized the fear that had kept him paddling. He feared that if he stopped, the river would pull him backwards in his belief system at the time. That it would pull him backwards, and certainly it would float down and down and down the river until he went over the huge waterfall and was crushed on the rocks underneath. But he had tired of paddling up the river. He cared no longer. One morning, he pushed his boat out, pushed his canoe out into the river, but he left his paddle on the bank. He let the flow of the river take him downstream. Down and down and down he went, downstream, past all the territory that he'd gone by before. He knew it was coming. He knew it was imminent. He knew there was a grand waterfall that would kill him, that would crush him. He had no more energy or desire or passion to paddle. And certainly enough, one day it came up. He could see the river growing swifter. He could see the rapids flowing stronger, and he knew the waterfall was up ahead. And as he raced towards it in his canoe, going backwards, he looked over his shoulder. He knew in moments that the canoe would be thrown over the edge. It would fall and fall and fall into the abyss that each one of you worry about and fear that if you let go, you will fall into. But yet he did. And there was a moment as the canoe slipped off the edge of the river. There was a moment of sheer terror and panic. And he knew life as a human was over. And indeed it was, because this releasing that he did, he transformed at that moment of greatest fear and greatest terror. And he realized all what he was experiencing was simply an illusion. Simply an illusion. An illusion that was grand and valuable, that had implications beyond his life, beyond the life of any others, that had an implication all the way back to the source of all that is. But he realized it was an illusion, and he realized in that moment of terror and panic that he was the creator of that illusion, that he could create anything he wanted, that he could create wings for his canoe, that he could create for the river not to exist at all. My friends, that is where we are going this year, this next year with you. We're going to release the grass. We're going to come to new understandings. We're going to let the old beliefs out. There will be times within your being that you will feel the greatest terror. My friends, ultimately, through this process, you will learn to truly understand the illusion. You will learn to understand that you are the creator. You will learn to begin creating new rivers, if you so choose, canoes with wings, if you so choose, whatever it is. Dear teachers, a phenomenal journey that you've been on. A difficult journey, we know, but a phenomenal journey. We are ready for the new work to begin. We are so deeply proud of each of you, even if you do not feel that within your being for yourself. Feel it come from us at this time. Feel it pour forth. Dear teachers, who have given of yourselves to stay here on earth, to be there for the others who will come to the point in their life when they tire of paddling, when they do not understand anymore, when they have lost their passion, when they know it is a time of awakening within themselves, for them to know there is another who has gone along that path and survived the great waterfall will be a wonderful thing for them. It will give them hope. Oh, and as you already know, you will not be able to do it for them, as we cannot do it for you. But they will see in front of them another human that has gone the new way. They will see a teacher ready to guide them and to love them, and to share with them. We ask you to to work for the next month of your time on being in a place of acceptance in all situations. Oh, it will be challenging. And you will do quite well. There will be times when it would be so irresistible to want to go heal someone or to want to defend someone or change something. Simply be in a place of accepting. See the dynamics that are occurring. See how the tapestry is woven. Now, we will come back shortly for questions and answers. We feel that there are some already popping up. But before we pause here, my friends, understand who you are and the journey you have been on and why you are here. Allow yourself to feel proud of what you have done. Allow self-honor for what you have done. You have gone a long way. We love you dearly. And friends, you are never alone. And so it is.